And more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester, looking outside and seeing what looks like an absolutely gorgeous day. And it was a little bit earlier. Wind speeds have picked up, though, just a little bit, and we're getting some reports of wind chill out there for some of the folks that are working outdoors. But right now, beautiful sun. It looks as though that wind is going to die down just a little bit later on this afternoon. It'll be becoming a little bit more northwesterly as we approach and get into the evening hours, and then die down, still coming out of the north. But our temperatures are going to be the story as far as tonight goes. We'll be hovering around that freezing mark, but then once again, the roller coaster ride continues. What's going on, Matthew, right now on the thermometer?
Currently, over at the airport, it's sunny at 52. Over in Midland, it's sunny at 54. Here at Radio Center, it's sunny at 52. We have west winds at 13 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.16, and it's rising.
Benton Harbor right now seems to be leading the way, right around 57 degrees. We do have a lot of cities in that middle 50-degree range, and by the time the day is all done, we should be working our way up to about 57. We owe all of this to a high-pressure system, which is over Minnesota. That high is going to be tracking to the east, wind up over the eastern part of the Upper Peninsula as we go through the day tomorrow, and then eventually wind up over New York State as we close out the weekend. As a result, what's going to be happening is it's going to open the door to a low-pressure system, which currently is over Oklahoma. It's going to move into and around Kansas and then eventually Iowa by Saturday night. And then once that high, as I said, moves into New York State, it's going to allow that low to scoot up through Wisconsin from the southwest to the northeast. We're going to be on the east side of it, the warmer side of it, and the wetter side of it. It looks as though the heaviest amount of precipitation out of this system is not going to be in Michigan. It more than likely will be down in Ohio and Kentucky. And right now they're looking at rainfall amounts projected to be anywhere between 1 to 2 inches in that part of the Midwest. Heavier rains still will be a part of the weather forecast for the southern plains and the central plains. Much needed precipitation there. Clear skies tonight, as you can tell. That's the reason why we're going to drop down to pretty close to the freezing mark. And then tomorrow will be a little bit cooler. 53 is going to be our high. We'll have a southeast wind about 7 to 8 miles per hour. And then as we move through the remainder of the weekend, we'll see our temperatures once again begin to inch their way up, close to 60 degrees for a high on Sunday, 45 for a low on Sunday night. Then moving into Monday, cloudy skies. Looks like upper 50s for a high, partly cloudy Monday night. 35, 36 degrees, and then Tuesday, partly cloudy skies. Wednesday, we'll have more in the way of clouds, and then another chance of some precipitation. Highs, once again, will be in that upper 50-degree range. So we're going to be running anywhere from 6 to 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year, not only for a good part of the work week next week, but also moving into and through a good portion of the following week, the week of the 18th. Throughout that period, slightly above normal as far as the moisture is concerned. Now, it does appear as though maybe not so much the beginning or the middle of the week of the 18th, but as we approach that weekend, which would be right around the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, we are going to be looking at a major system that will be moving into the continental United States. At this stage of the game, the odds are for above average temperatures, but there is going to be some movement in the upper air. So we'll just have to see. That could develop into a major winter-like event. Now, does that mean a whole bunch of snow? Probably not, but enough snow to make it a little interesting and something obviously that we haven't really talked a whole lot about. As far as snow is concerned, we're not looking at a whole lot of snow on this date in recorded history, but we were mentioning yesterday about 1951, where we had just over 12, almost 13 inches of snow in a 2-day period of time. One of our listeners mentioned to us that back in 1966, now this would have been right around the 2nd and the 3rd of November, we had a little bit better than 11 inches of snow officially recorded out at MBS International Airport. And we do have a number of days in November where we were looking at 8 inches plus. And of course, we'll be running into those a little bit more, a little bit more timely once we get past the 15th of the month. Sun will set this evening at about 5:18. Rise tomorrow morning at 7:23. The coldest ever, 8th of November, 1991. 34 was our high, 14 was our low. The warmest ever, 2020, 4 years ago. 75 was our high, 49 was our low, and 75 is the record high for this state set in 2020. And the record cold temperature was 14, set in 1991. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, Matthew, who do we have?
Up next, we have Kim Weiss with Lingle Equipment. We also have Cody Harris from Star of the West. And to close out, Doug Klein with Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. It's all about being prepared for the good things and taking advantage of the bad. The folks at the Sarr Agency have been doing this for a number of years. They've worked with a lot of farmers, and a lot of farmers are pleased with the results that they get when they work with the professionals at the Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Remember, they're licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. You can get a hold of their agents on their cells for questions or emergencies, or call the office, 989-868-4722. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Before we take a look at the markets, let's slide over to Lingle Equipment right now. Kim Weiss, good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Terry. Hey, and I just was thinking, this is exactly the week before opening of the firearm deer season. And for somebody that wants to make that job of getting that deer out and getting it back to the vehicle easier, we have two RTV 850 sidekicks left. A black one that is a sport model with custom wheels and it's gas, CVT transmission, the Go Fast transmission. You're looking at $16,765 plus tax for that one. And I got a camo one, the same frame, same chassis, and it's just painted camo colors for $16,510. They're both here at Lingle Equipment alongside I-75, south of the Milwaukee Bridge. Come on in and see them. We can get them ready for you to take deer hunting, go next week, and it'll make the job a lot easier.
Yeah, because we're talking, the 15th is next Friday?
A week from today.
Yeah, a week from today. Kim Weiss, and again, how do we get a hold of you?
Give me a call here at Lingle Equipment, 989-754-7801, or send me an email and I'll get you the information back at Weiss, WEISS, at lingo1.com, or we're right alongside the I-75 exit off the Washington Road exit. Stop in and see them.
And again, when they're gone, right?
That's right. They're gone.
All right, Kim,
When they're gone.
take care. Have a nice weekend, okay?
You too.
Will do.
Thanks.
Kim Weiss over at Lingle Equipment. Let's see if we can make a little money to buy one of those things. Over to Cody Harris we go at Star of the West. Cody, the market's looking favorable today, or are we giving up a little bit, especially in the soybean pit?
Yeah, you got that right, Terry. Corn and wheat seems right now showing a little bit of strength up today. Might be seeing a little bit of correction on soybeans here this morning. Had kind of a late surge yesterday in the end of the session. We were up, I think, 22 on beans yesterday, so getting a little correction today, down a little bit. But everything seems to maybe be setting up. We got a USDA report, the November report, coming out at noon our time. So I think the market's just kind of jousting around, seeing maybe how they're going to position themselves ahead of that report.
Any clues as to what that report's going to give us right now, Cody? What do you think the traders are thinking?
Yeah, I know, talking to a few guys kind of throughout the week, it kind of seems like maybe the overall maybe trader bias heading into the report for corn right now, at least. You might be seeing maybe production slide a little bit based maybe on a smaller yield and trimming maybe some harvested acres. That kind of seems to be the consensus moving forward. But kind of, I think if you dive into it, maybe those revisions that everyone's thinking are still going to leave the balance sheet pretty supplied, as we just kind of running through some numbers here right now. I mean, we're looking at the second largest corn crop on record behind last year. So even with some of those revisions that guys are expecting, we still should have ample supplies as far as corn's concerned. And very similar story as far as soys are concerned as well. Traders are expecting some cuts in both U.S. production and increases in soybean demand prospects. Might not be as clear cut as corn. To dial in those demand prospects, we kind of had an October surge in soybean sales that actually put our U.S. bookings kind of ahead of what the current USDA's pace. But we're kind of expecting a record large Brazilian crop, and with their dominance of soybean exports lately, I would be hesitant to see USDA maybe raise that too much. I'd say probably a conservative raising in that aspect of it. And for wheat seems to be kind of following along either corn and soybeans. You might see some international production updates, especially focus more on the Black Sea region. Otherwise, that trade is definitely likely to quickly turn its attention back to the growing season weather that we're getting for this winter wheat crop moving forward. So, but right now, that's kind of what everyone's looking at, Terry. So,
yeah, I was taking a look at the radar, Cody, and it looks as though Kansas, some of those folks, southern Nebraska, extreme western Missouri, and Oklahoma, they're getting some precipitation here. So ought to be interesting. I would think the wheat crop is going to benefit from that out in that part of the country.
Oh, much needed. I know that's what I was kind of looking at here today. We saw some decent improvement kind of throughout the week and in the future for kind of that great South Plains area, especially like you were saying, Oklahoma, that North Texas, even Western Kansas, Eastern Colorado. It seems like, that 6 to 10 day map definitely are showing more chances for rain in all those areas. And you are correct. I would assume that any kind of wet weather out there is going to benefit that crop immensely, as it's been so dry the last, it seems like, month and a half or so.
Yeah. So on the board right now, what do you have, Cody?
Right now we got cash wheat. That's up to $5.64 on the white, $4.89 on the red. Looking at new crop 2025 wheat. I'll call that unchanged at the moment. $6.06 on the white, $5.21 on the red. Then looking over at cash and new crop corn, that's up 3 at $3.56. And cash and new crop soybeans down 6 at $9.25.
You have a nice weekend.
Thank you. You as well, guys.
You bet. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us right now. Market Report brought to you by the folks at Thumb Bank, serving the needs of agriculture since 1895. It's all about farm production. It's all about getting that crop in, and it's all about getting your ducks in a row. And the experts at Thumb Bank, they've been through it for quite a few years. I think they can help you out. Get in contact with them today. They've got locations all across Michigan's Thumb, as well as the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust. Member FDIC. Doug Klein, good morning.
Well, good morning.
We're going to end the week on really a high note? No.
Yeah, so far solid.
Yeah?
We got a couple hours to go, but the way these markets trade anymore, nobody really steps in and says, man, that's ridiculous, or man, that's cheap, or man, that's expensive. It's just pretty much computer traded, if you ask me, and they don't question that sort of thing. They just, if it's up, it's good, keep going. If it's down, it's bad, keep going, and so it can be a lot more volatile than it used to be back in the good old days. I think you see that with grains also. You got $8 corn turns into $4 corn in a short period of time, and you go, wow, that was quick and painful, and vice versa. So I don't know. The crude oil, that phone call lasted 2 days. The value of that phone call lasted 2 days, down a couple bucks today. So I imagine he got his sales in, for selling forward on his crude oil. I'm talking about the Saudi prince that made the phone call now. So back to $70 or so on crude oil. Precious metals heading down today. Again, volatile. 1% down, 2% down, something like that. The dollar heading up a bit today. We saw a new low in Dow today. What else? Moderna, the vaccine company, hit a new low today. All the solar kind of sort of stuff is negative today. NextEra Partners hit a new low. Tesla hit a new high today, new 2-year high today, up to like $315 a share or something like that, 316. So that's getting close to $1 trillion in value. That's kind of sort of what's going on. But right now, here's your numbers. December corn, 431, up 3.5. March corn, 444, up 3.5. January soybeans, 1020.5, down 5 3/4. And the March soybeans, 1033.25, down 4 1/4. December wheat, 573 3/4, up 2 1/4. And March wheat, 589 1/4, up 1/4. The crude oil is 70.21, down $2.15. Heating oil is $2.2346, down 5.2 cents. Gasoline, $2.50 a penny, down 4.8 cents. Natural gas, $2.96 1/4, up 1.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3911 Canadian. That's up 50 ticks. The dollar buys 152.54 yen, down 39 ticks. The euro's at 107.22, down 82 ticks. And the dollar's at 104.94. That's up 44 ticks. Gold's at $26.92.90, down $12.90. Silver's $31.49.5. That's down 36 cents. Platinum's $9.74.10, down 21.40, and copper's $4.30.75, down 12.5 cents.
All right. Have a nice weekend, Doug.
Thanks. Well, you too.
I will. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. They are your Dairyland seed dealer, and they carry the full line of corn and Enlist soybean seed. Proven weed control designed to get you a better harvest. Good supply all across the Dairyland varieties, and special savings are available through the 15th of November. So check it out. They've got the all-new Vorseed and PowerCore Enlist traded corn hybrids, too. So contact Justin Varner for more information. Dairyland Seed, they've got seed with your name on it. From your friends at Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983, where serving you is their business. We'll be right back.
We could try to explain what it feels like to get your work done on a John Deere. The way a Z-Track mower finishes in half the time you thought it would. How easily soil gets moved with a 1 Series tractor. Or how it feels to tow up to 4,000 pounds behind a Gator XUV. But if you really want to know what it's like to run with us, you just have to get in the seat.
Contact one of Tri-County Equipment's locations in Auburn Hills, Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Caro, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
Like you, we never settle. There's more sugar, in fact, better sugar in every seed we sell. For more than a century, we put innovation to work in the service of growers who plant Crystal brand sugar beet seed. With varieties developed especially for your growing area, you can be confident your success is always our top priority. This season, and for seasons to come, Choose a seed partner who shares your priorities.
The beauty of a family farm is that everyone pitches in to get things done. There is nothing like the smell of a sugar beet field during harvest or a meal served off the tailgate of a pickup. This is Peter Maxwell, your ACH Seeds representative, with a friendly reminder to keep safety a top priority this season. Please encourage your crews to be cautious with field work and drive safely as they deliver this crop. You've built an impressive legacy, one that is certainly worth protecting. Thanks again for your continued business.
ACH Seeds, growing with you.
Let's find out what's going on out in the fields right now and some advice for farmers. Stephanie Zelenko with AgriLiquid joining us right now. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning.
What should farmers be aware of right now? What should they be doing?
Well, it's the normal fall time of year stuff is getting things wrapped up. We have had the opportunity to get a little bit of tillage done. Now that fields had a little bit of moisture in that I think was kind of a challenging point for guys before we got that rainfall. So hopefully these couple of days after the last rain, they were able to get in and finish, any of that field work up that they needed to get done. Going forward, it's your typical things, soil testing and looking for next year's input.
So at this stage of the game, a lot of work that a lot of guys usually try to work in before the 1st of December. They're able to get at it now.
They are. We've had a really good season being able to wrap up harvest ahead of schedule and get fertilizer spread. I think I've seen more lime trucks and dry spreaders out than I have historically, which is really good because we can get some of those soil test levels built up before we go into next season.
So at this stage of the game, it's get that work done because before you know it, Mother Nature probably won't allow you to do it.
It is, we're starting to see that pattern again where we're getting more moisture. And, even though it's been nice and we're in November, we have to remember we're still in Michigan. And so that cold and snow and eventually freezing grounds are going to come in. So get, things done while you can. And then we'll get that done before we beat that weather.
Stephanie, safe travels as we move to Kansas City next week. Hopefully we'll have a chance to see you there. All righty?
Yeah, I will be there. See you next week.
Okay. Stephanie Zelenko with AgriLiquid. Chuck Cervinski right after this.
Soil prep for next year begins as soon as the harvest is over. Don't miss out on nutrients you can return to your soil. Applying a Dairy Dew compost blend accelerates the conversion of crop stubble into next year's plant food. That remaining plant material is full of nutrients you want to return to the soil. Dairy Dew blends from Morgan Composting, like K2, Gypsum Plus, and Layer Ash blend with gypsum, helps with decomposition, releasing those nutrients for next year's crops while also adding good biology and other missing nutrients to your soil. Like a lot of things right now, supplies are limited, so contact Morgan Composting to place your order for fall and lock in your price now. Crops don't wait. The seasons don't wait. You shouldn't wait. Address soil health now for better yields next year. Not sure which is the best Dairy Dew compost blend for your fields? Contact a soil health expert at Morgan Composting for a consultation and soil testing. Call today or visit dairydew.com to learn more.
Over to Maple Hill Nursery we go right now. Dairy Dew's, one of Dairy Dew's largest sales operations right now. Chuck Cervinski, it looks as though fall fertilization is first and foremost.
Yeah, if you haven't got it done, right now is an ideal time with this weather we've had. And even with cooler temperatures, it's reducing the top growth, so you don't have to cut so much, but the root growth is still active. And right now, fertilizing is going to set the grass plant up for winter and for healthy spring growth. Not only is it going to enhance root growth and the uptake of water and nutrients, but also carbohydrate buildup in the grass stem base is going to promote good winter survival. And just an example of a good blend, 24-4-12 is one. It's got a small amount of nitrogen available to the grass blades right now, while the rest is more slow release, and a little push of phosphorus is still going to allow root growth this month and into December, and also get those roots growing deeper into the ground for spring, which promotes a healthy lawn. And
right now you've got a pretty good pricing situation on outdoor furniture, huh?
We do. We've got 30% off on all of our polywood floor models, and that doesn't happen too often, and we've got a pretty good selection there. And then also Al Fresco Home, 50% off on all of our floor models of Al Fresco Home furniture as well. So some good deals to be had.
Yeah, really good deals. Chuck, you have a nice weekend. We'll talk to you again next week, okay?
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be right back.
How can you be sure that you're getting the full potential of your sugar beets? By planting a seed backed by over 50 years of breeding expertise. Hi, Brian Groot here, your local Beta Seed sales manager. At Beta Seed, our breeders research and test thousands of hybrids to find the one with the best traits to drive higher sugar content and better yields while also standing up to diseases and pests on your farm. That's what we call next-gen breeding for next-gen confidence. Want to learn more? Give me a call or visit betaseed.com.
Every farmer has their reason for why they do what they do. For Beck's, it's faith, family, and farming. Since 1937, the Beck family and family of employees have been committed to honoring God and helping farmers succeed. Farming is full of extremes, and we face the challenges with hard work and steadfast determination, delivering quality line of products backed by legendary customer service. We look forward to standing by your side, supporting you as you live out the life you were meant to live. Beck's, when it comes to farming, we believe in something more. To learn more, visit BecksHybrids.com.
We talk about the dry weather. We still have the effects of that dry weather. It's going to take a little bit of precipitation to get us up to where we should be. As of right now, more than 50% of the land in Michigan is still quite a bit below normal when it comes to soil moisture. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coins in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.